What is up, guys? Big Rob here. Chaos Nutrition, CEO, founder. And today's topic of discussion is going to be about Dr. Fauci. Now, I know I'm a couple days late. Had a pretty busy weekend. Had a lot of shit to get done. And unfortunately, just couldn't get to the opportunity to make this video. So, I'm doing it with you now. Couple things to kind of point out and understand. A lot of this shit that we're seeing, you know, Trump knew about it. A lot of the insiders already knew. So for a lot of people, this isn't really breaking news. We all knew that the Obama administration funded the Wuhan lab. If you're unfamiliar with the Wuhan lab, you need to just Google it, look it up. You may have to go to another search engine though, because Google might actually be filtering that type of information out. So basically, the scenario is, you know, for years, this Wuhan lab had been cooking up this virus, and they finally found a way for it to break the animal-human barrier in which it could, you know, become rampant like it did. And so, Mr. Fauci is the fall guy. Let's not forget, he is just the fall guy, guys. So, you know, when these types of scenarios happen, you know, he was put in place many, many years ago. Remember, he was one of the leading scientists during the AIDS epidemic. And, you know, some will say that they have a cure. Some will say they had a cure for years. You know, that was another one of those pathogens that went from, you know, an animal being a gorilla, yada, yada, into a human. And there's so many scenarios as to, you know, how it worked and how it, you know, got into the human, you know, genome. But we know that when you get scientists and you get them together, they can pretty much create and make anything. I mean, look, we've got plant-based meat. We've got all kinds of weird shit going on. So, you know, these are very brilliant people with high IQs. If they want things to be done, they'll get them done, okay? For a guy like Mr. Fauci, I hate even calling him Mr., but a guy like Fauci who's getting paid millions of dollars per year to run the NIH and such, and to have his mouthpiece in the CDC, these guys are getting paid, and they're with the in crowd. They're not going anywhere. So when you look at it from the outside in, you have to understand what was there to gain from this. And I said it from the beginning. It's medical tyranny. A lot of nurses, a lot of doctors came out and said, you know, this just doesn't make any sense. We could be treating this with, you know, other drugs, and we're not. We're charging these absurd amounts of money for these pilot programs that we don't know if they're actually going to work. Well, you know, it's just like anything. If you create the problem and you've got the solution, then why rush it? But they did. Under Trump administration, they actually pushed for the vaccine to come out a little faster. And I just have a big problem with all of it, because when you look at something that's over 95% curable on its own, just goes away. You got to take some vitamins, you got to take some minerals, you got to be healthy. But with no underlying conditions and pretty healthy individual, you're going to beat COVID. Why take a vaccine? So, you know, anytime you introduce that type of, you know, those antibodies and such into your body, and you're changing, you know, the scope of what's in your body and your cells and such, you know, you don't know what that vaccine is going to do to you years down the road. But getting back to the Fauci scenario, you know, with the leaked emails and such, like I said, guys, this is old news. We already knew where this was going. I knew it when the lockdowns were coming. I go, they're going to push for masks. They're going to push for a vaccine, and they surely did. And there's still people out there. I just heard the other day there's 6 million here in Arizona that have gotten vaccinated. So people are still out there getting it, guys. And, you know, in order to travel, I heard you got to have it. So for a lot of these cats, they want to travel. They want to get out. They've been cooped up for a year. Some people want to go home, see their family. I understand, you know. I mean, when I joined the Marine Corps, I had to take vaccines. I didn't know what they were. They were just shooting us with everything and anything. You know, and at the time, you don't really have much to say because you're government owned. So you're just kind of just taking it, you know, whatever that peanut butter shot was, whatever this was, and maybe a little bit of this, a little bit of that. And you're just haphazardly going through with it because you're like, well, they should know better. They should know what they're putting into our bodies. We do get a medical record book, which shows the vaccines and shots you were given. I don't know how many I took. Maybe I took 20, maybe 10 were documented. I really don't know. So I have a choice though these days, and so do you. And so the choice is, do you trust these guys that really made millions and billions of dollars with a guy like, who they're not talking about him anymore, but Mr. Bill Gates, right? Bill Gates, the head honcho over at Microsoft. He couldn't stop viruses. Well, that's a funny story, because that's a funny meme is he couldn't stop viruses. How's he going to stop, this virus? Well, he's got the patent on this, on the elixir, on the antidote for this virus. But the funny thing is those guys, they would almost always have programmers that could go in and make a virus. And so they would, come out with another firewall, another update, another, program that you had to buy to keep yourself safe from that new, virus that was going around, right? And then all of a sudden you realize, you go out and you buy a Mac and you don't have any of those viruses. Interesting, right? So you got to kind of look at it, in a couple different perspectives. Thanks, brother. And going through the car wash, man, because my car got pretty pelted over the weekend with sand and such and dust. So I might get a little loud in here, and I apologize, but you're rolling with me. So, guys, we already knew all this stuff. If you fell for it, my apologies. If you're a sheep and you woke up, my condolences. If you're still asleep, you're still getting vaccines, you still think the shit's real, you still think everything that's surrounding it is legit, I feel very, very sorry for you. And I feel very sorry for everyone around you, because you're very misinformed. All right, you're uneducated in this regard, and you're being used as a sheep to perpetuate a whole lot of crimes against humanity, and it's wrong on every scale. So, Fauci is just the fall guy. It didn't end with him. I think he was taking more than just directions. I know that he probably had some handlers, but at the end of the day, he's going to be the guy that's going to take the fall. He might do some jail time, he might not, I don't know. If he does anything, it'll be a Martha Stewart situation. They're definitely not going to put him in a position where, he's out at, Pelican Bay. All right, he's not going to be doing any crazy hard time. He's definitely not going to Gitmo where he belongs. But it's just not him. It's all the others behind the scenes that perpetuated this. They knew exactly what they were doing, and they were, trying to get away with it. And, fortunately, the American people woke up, the world woke up and said, no, we're not going along with this shit. We're not going along to get along. We're not doing it anymore. And when they did that and they woke up, and the New World Order and the powers that be said, oh shit, then they backed off. And they realized, well, those people aren't going to take it. And that rebellious sense of 1776 came out, and it put some pressure on them to stop their bullshit. Now, are they done? Probably not. They'll probably introduce another, go round to this virus or whatever it is later in the fall. We'll have to see. I definitely, think that those that lost their lives to anything of the sort, it's sad. It was disrespectful. It's treasonous. It's incomprehensible that, this could be perpetuated against not only the American people, but against the world. And I think, honestly, if you remember in the first couple days of COVID, there was a lot of speculation that it came from like Fort Detrick, that it was cooked up here in one of our labs, and then it was sent over to Wuhan. Don't ever forget that. Don't ever let that go by the wayside. A lot of those things that you were hearing is what's called chatter. And sometimes through chatter, things just get leaked out. You know what I'm saying? So They don't mean for it to get leaked out. It just kind of happens. And, when that's done, things like this, happen. And so call them conspiracy theorists or call them whatever you want. Truth of the matter is, a lot of us are right on point, So I don't know how you go along to get along anymore. I don't know what the actual hell is going on, but I still see people. I just passed a Starbucks here and I saw a great Italian restaurant there. People are still wearing masks. I don't get it. Like I said, if you've got a underlying health condition in which it's probably a good idea that you wear it, go ahead and do so. They've had these kind of masks forever. They're not going to protect against everything, but if you feel safer, go ahead. If you feel safer in your car, not wearing a seatbelt or wearing a double seatbelt with a helmet, you can do that too. Anything you really like. You can wear knee pads in the car, shin guards, just in case, the pedal pops up and hits you in the shin. I mean, you can pretty much do whatever the fuck you want to do. Is it logical? Probably not. Would kind of look a little funny wearing shoulder pads and a helmet in a car. But if it makes you feel safer, I'm all for it. So it's the American way. Do what you want to do, man. Just don't let it interfere with my life, and don't put your ideas and think that I'm just going to go in cadence with what you're doing just because you're going along to get along. I just would rather not shop at that outlet. I'd rather not eat at that restaurant, and I'd rather not go into that bar. I'd rather not go into that supermarket, and that's just me. So, we saw the Costco's of the world back off with their mask mandate, which is unconstitutional. And, as long as suicide is still legal, so is not wearing a mask. It's my choice. All right? If I want to take that calculated risk and smoke a cigarette, drink a beer, join the armed forces, become a cop, become a nurse, become a doctor, become a firefighter, an EMT, or a truck driver, all those dangerous jobs, then I should be able to walk around without a mask, and I will do so. And like I said, if I find myself in a position where I need one, I'll put one on. But until then, I'm going to do what I've been doing, and that's not going along just to get along, okay? So as it pertains to Fauci in the upcoming weeks and months, I'm not sure. Trump did the right thing a long time ago, kicked him off the news networks, and rightfully so. He saw that rat bastard was exactly what he was. But again, guys, don't forget, he was just a fall guy here. All right, so when you're looking at the guy that's going to take the shot, he's the guy that's taking it. But if he misses or loses, he still has a contract because he's just the fall guy. And they paid him to do so, and it insulates them from the hierarchy. So if you really want to get to the bottom of this pandemic, you've got to search a little deeper than just Fauci. Don't just stop there, man. He's just the mouthpiece for the New World Order. He's just the mouthpiece for the boys that try to perpetuate, genocide. I don't know how else to put it. So, not that super interesting, but I figured I'd touch on the Fauci situation. A lot of stuff coming up that you see in the news regarding Supreme Court coming down on illegal immigration right now. And then I just saw a clip from my man Wheel Guns Inc. Shout out to Andrew over at his channel. Where he put up on Instagram, a clip where our VP is down in Guatemala, I believe, and she's telling those folks, don't come to America because we're not going to accept you. And I'm almost puzzled and baffled because that's definitely not their game plan. And for them to speak against illegal immigration is very troublesome. And people ask, well, why do you say that, Rob? And I say, because it doesn't fit their playbook. It doesn't even go along with their narrative that they've been pushing. That was Trump's narrative. So maybe a little reverse psychology now. Maybe they got enough folks in at the border that they needed to sway some elections going further. I'm not sure. You just have to stay tuned. And as far as Chaos Nutrition is concerned, we're still moving in a positive direction. I've been kind of iffy with some of the expos because I think it's just a little too early to venture out to the expos because I don't think local health authorities have a game plan intact that's going to be beneficial for me to sell on a large scale and to reach out and touch those that we need to. So WWE is going to be going on tour. I know that Major League Sports are going to start opening up a little bit more. So I think maybe around this time next year, we'll have a really good idea as to, what the future holds as far as expos and such. But for right now, I think just taking a quick back seat, maybe just going, taking a look around, maybe an impromptu, meet and greet for myself, a couple of the athletes. But as far as having a booth, I'm kind of weighing against it right now. They need to check their prices. They need to get some things in order. I know they need to make their money back, but I'm not going to pay $10,000 for a square just to show up and break even. I'm just not into that. So I don't feel as if that's the best possible scenario for the business, and I'm just not going to do it. So, with that being said, the upcoming year is something we'll take a look at, but for right now, I still think we're just on kind of thin ice, and we're kind of breaking some barriers, but there's some work to do. So, I'm going to sit back a little bit in the cut and just kind of analyze and see what's going on, see where we are in the next few months or so, because, even sales have kind of flatlined a little bit, and, it's okay. It's par for the course. It's summertime. People are doing their thing. School's out. Stimulus money is slowing down. A lot of things are changing. So you just have to roll with the punches and stay, keep adapting and overcoming, man. Stay out there, keep doing whatever it takes. Stay ride or die for your circle. Understand that there's no easy way out. There's no shortcut home. And just stay relentless, man, because, during these times, you have to stay relentless to your cause. You fall asleep on it, that dream's going to disappear very quickly. It's just almost like a fart in church. It's just going to be gone. So, on that note, guys, I'm here at the gym, seeing some of the numbers come up, some youngsters coming in, filling the void. It's kind of nice to see. Although I'd like to see a little bit more gym etiquette. So if you're one of those younger guys watching the video and you made it this far, 17 minutes deep, a little too long, just know that there's a thing called gym etiquette. Some of us have been around a little bit. We like our space in the gym, and we'll respect your space as well. But at the end of the day, we've got some space issues and people putting shit away. I think we can all do a better job of doing that too. So on that note, guys, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for spending a few minutes with me today. And I just wanted to tell you from the bottom of my heart, from all my athletes and myself, that there's no way we could do this without you. And because of you, Chaos Nutrition is possible. Without you, Chaos Nutrition is not possible, so we need you. Head over, check out the website, check out if there's a product that'll work for you. Let me know if there's anything I can do for you. The website is chaosnutrition.com. You can use YouTube20 as a great 20% off gift to you. And of course, as always, free shipping, even for right now, even though things are changing rapidly in the world of e-commerce and such. Right now, we're still holding on to that free shipping 24/7. So take advantage while it's still a possibility. All right. So on that note, guys, I'm going to hop up in here at the gym, get some work done, feel good, let the body get some work into itself and feel alive. Hope you're doing the same thing. Stay focused, stay dedicated, and stay ride or die for yours, man. On that note, guys, huge shout out to Joe Pietaro and the whole team over at Muscle Sport Magazine. Love you guys. We'll get through it. Don't sweat it. It's just a little lull in the world right now, but we're going to get through it because, like we always say, you got to go through it to get to it. And on that note, guys, stay blessed. I'm out.